Okay, to start off with the characters, I'm going to talk about Capcom side first, because they have the better characters, beginning with the poster boy for Capcom Versus, which of course is Ryu. From the gameplay, he plays like the TVC version of him, with a couple of more features. There's not really much to say, because we all know how he plays. Overall, he's been a staple of every single Capcom Versus game, so you can't have a Capcom Versus game without playing him and the next character I might talk about, Chun-Li. Just like Ryu, it seems she also plays like she was in TVC, and luckily, considering that this game isn't that broken compared to MVC2, she won't be lower tier and stuck like she seemed to most people who played MVC2. Again, just like Ryu, there's really nothing much to say because she's been in every Capcom Versus game ever since. Chris was a nice addition. Being as one of the representatives for the Resident Evil game, he looks so interesting to play as because of all the weapons he uses in the game, and he's just a cool character overall. The only thing I hate about him is his level 3 special. That's a problem because I don't see a lot of people using him because of it, or so I think, but I think he still seems pretty nice to play as, and compared to Leon, he isn't really boring. Sorry people, but in a way, Leon was for boring and 4. Morgan is just the same as always. Like Ryu and Chun-Li, she plays like she did in TVC, and not like Ryu as she did in MVC 1 and 2. I don't hate it, but I sort of can't keep playing as her because I stuck with her in TVC. There's nothing much to say because she's been in plenty of the Capcom Versus games, but not all of them. Dante was one of those characters that was most wanted in the game, and luckily, Capcom provided him in with his DMC3 look. I liked the trailer with him playing Deadpool, and how he plays was very nice with the pistol projectile combos and the transformation to Devil Trigger, and how you can take your opponents up in the air and start doing this insane shit. I enjoy what they did to him, so yeah, hope they play his next game look as a DLC costume. I don't care people, go ahead and hate me, it just seems funny. Now Felicia I have mixed feelings about. I mean, as of now, she's in my team for MVC2, but I sort of felt that she should have been included later as DLC for MVC3, but that's just me. As for her moveset, it kinda sucks now. They took out her hyper stance splash, and because of that, she only has 2 hyper combos, one being regular and one being level 3. After finding that out, I just can't see myself being pro with her or playing as her. Overall, what I just think about her is meh. Trish is also a character I'm mixed about. When it comes to more Devil May Cry characters, we all would have wanted to see Virgil instead. Not saying Trish is a bad addition, but it's a little disappointing for what I think. Now despite seeing people use her and be pretty good from what I've seen, she just looks bland. I still want to try her out though, because she's one of those characters that has a hyper combo consisting of her firing a beam of energy of some sort, and I like those characters. In conclusion, she just seems decent. I was surprised seeing Amaterasu being playable because Okami was such a great game with the awesome presentation and how original it was. Besides the point, I like how she plays with attacking your opponents with a sword on her back, and those elemental attacks are cool. Overall, her inclusion in the game is nice, and if the first 3 Capcom characters I'll be using don't suit me, I'll be adding her to my main team. Sorry I couldn't think of anything more to say. Sean Bond was a pretty good character in MVC2, and I'm sort of happy to see her in the game. When I mean sorta, is because I've heard a certain character was to replace another very important Capcom Versus character, which I will talk about later. But anyway, she looks like she's the same as she was in MVC2, which I liked because using her in that game was pretty fun. Like many of the other characters returning from MVC, I have nothing else to say because she was just so right and stuff. Now a few minutes ago I was talking about a certain character replacing another, as the next character, the character I'm talking about is Arthur. I wasn't really digging him because I felt that Capcom should have included the staples of Marvel vs. Capcom first before adding others. Now with that, I wanted to see Mega Man in the game, and unfortunately, he's not included. And from what I've heard, it's because of Arthur. Bullshit, Nitsuma, how can you replace the Blue Bomber? And that's one of the only problems I have with the roster. Now despite Arthur replacing Mega Man, I've recently grown to enjoy wanting to use him. I like how he fights, that Magic Dragon special is cool, and who doesn't think it's pretty cool to fight various superheroes and martial artists in their underwear. Although I'm pissed at him being a replacement to Mega Man, or so I've heard, I'm still looking forward to playing him on my main team because he just looks so fun to use. Bionic Commando is one of Capcom's well-known 8-bit series next to Mega Man and Ghosts and Goblins, so Spencer was an excellent addition to the roster. Now the only problem that actually plagues the character is the fact that the 2009 Bionic Commando was just a meh game, and to see that version of the protagonist is somewhat funny. Despite that, he just seems so badass with how he plays, with him ripping off Scorpion with a "get over here" and swinging from the walls, and the special seems just nice. Also, Faith No More is a kick-ass band, so that gives them some more coolness points. I was kinda mixed at first to see Beautiful Joe be included in the roster because he was just recently in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, and I wanted to see somebody who wasn't in a Capcom vs. game yet be put instead. But a few days after thinking about it, Joe definitely deserves to be in because he fits. I personally like using him in TVC, and from what I've heard, he plays different than his TVC counterpart. And after seeing the trailer, you can be pretty much a bitch with him because he looks more faster and stuff. So yeah, I don't know how to end this, I'm just gonna say Henshin and Go-Go baby. I know it's cheesy and corny, but I can't think of anything else. Zero is a mixed bag. I mean, it's nice to see a representative of the X-Series as usual, but I still am pissed not to see the Blue Bomber be confirmed before guys like him were included. Just like Beautiful Joe, I believe he plays a little differently than his TVC counterpart, and the funny part about it is that a whole bunch of people are stating he's broken. I think you could get around him, but he still might be a problem to some, including me. However, I can't get past that and the replacing stuff because his voice actor is just so cool, and his moveset looks decent. I was really happy seeing C Viper included to the game because I wanted to see a representative of Street Fighter 4 to be included as well. From the trailer standpoint, she totally fits the game because those jetpack shoes and taser gloves she uses just felt like they were made to be in those types of Capcom vs. games. Gameplay wise, she feels very agile and the moveset is just so killer. Overall, I like her because she fits and I think her voice is just sexy. Damn do I love those Bleach voice actors. Jill was a great character to use in MVC 2, and when I found out she was going to be in this game with her RE5 look, the first thing I thought was, how will she fight like? As her being DLC, I'm both positive and negative about it. I mean, I like extra characters, I think Jill is alright content. However, Capcom, the next few characters you put, you better make them the ones demanded by fans the most, like maybe Power Stone and Rifle School characters, Phoenix Wright, and Carnage to name a few. Do not give us crap like Ken, Dan, Iceman, Colossus, Silver Samurai, and Spiral, and these all recycled characters to name a few. Also Capcom, make sure they're priced decently. Now back to talking about Jill. Considering we only have screenshots of her instead of a trailer, I have nothing really much to say about her. I'm just looking forward to using her. Wesker is quite possibly the most badass video game villain of all time. I mean, not only does he have the look, lingo, and personality of a freaking badass, the way Capcom makes him pull off his moveset is just so freaking sweet. He keeps teleporting and pulls off these martial arts moves from what I've read, and his projectile attack is one of the best Capcom has ever made. even better than Cody's Rock. You add these with one special consisting of him jumping around the place, and a hyper combo consisting of throwing a missile at your opponent, and you've got Beast's character who I'll be using in my main team. So far, I've been praising or liking Capcom's part of the roster. Now this is where it stops because of the character I'm showing to you right now, Akuma. As much as I like Akuma, he's a waste of character space. You know why? 1. He's another Shoto character. Sure, he has some different moveset than Ryu, but he's still a Shoto. And 2. One character per Street Fighter series, okay Capcom? What I mean is, look at Tatsunoko vs Capcom. They had Ryu representing Street Fighter 1, Chun-Li representing Street Fighter 2, and Alex representing Street Fighter 3. The same thing goes for the first 3 Street Fighter characters confirmed for MVC3. Ryu, SF1, Chun-Li, SF2, and Viper, SF4. To wrap this character up, as much as I like Akuma and the way he fights, waste of space. Hacker was leaked before he was even confirmed, but saying that, we all knew he was going to replace Zangief as the grappler or pro wrestler of the game. I mean Alex did in TVC and Hugo did in SBC Chaos. With that out of the way, I am disappointed in no Zangief because he was in the first 4 MVCs, and him versus Hacker is a matchup Capcom fans been wanting since the beginning. But Hacker came first, then Zangief, so I shouldn't really be that pissed. Now that I'm done with this crap, let's move on. Hacker seems more flexible and agile than Zangief, and I like him for that because I had no skills using Zangief. I also like his moveset shown from the trailers with him using the pipe and performing suplexes and pile drivers on his opponents with ease. You add these with cool theme and badass looking stage, and you've got a character that I'll be adding for my second MVC3 team. Last but not least is Senko. For her I have pretty mixed feelings for. I like that she somewhat brings variety because of how she plays, but that doesn't exclude the fact that in a way there are way too many Darkstalker characters from what I think, and in my opinion you could have debuted a character from another Capcom game, just saying. Gameplay wise, she looks pretty fun to use and she might be in a future team, but I still am a little disappointed for Capcom playing her instead of the staples of the Capcom vs games. As of right now, I can't find a waste of space, but that might change however. So that was Capcom's side of the roster for Marvel vs Capcom 3. Tomorrow, I'm going to be uploading and posting my thoughts on Marvel's side of the roster. I hope you enjoyed this video and tune in for tomorrow. Anyway guys, thanks for watching.